Punyam tang anumoditva chirang rakkantu tvang sada. শ্রদ্ধাবান উপাসক উপাসিকা বৃন্দ, আজকে কুশল পান্তের আর একটা প্রোগ্রাম আছে 11টায়। উনি একটু তাড়াতাড়ি এখান থেকে উঠে যাবেন। উঠে যাওয়ার আগে ওনাকে আমি 5 মিনিট কোনো কিছু বলার জন্য এখন বলবো। Dear friends, Bhante Kusala has another program at 11 o'clock. Before he goes, I would like to invite him to say a few words.
Thank you, Bhante. This morning, so glad to see Bhante on this side. Normally it is just me. Last week we had Bhante Sivali. Probably he will be back when he is able to. So 3 months passed before we even know, and now here we are, closer to ending the rains season. The full moon day has come. It is the same full moon day that we saw. With that brightening, we can focus on how our hearts get cleared off of defilements. One of the defilements that I wanted to speak about is fear. Fear is there in our minds at different circumstances, different situations. We jump, we get frightened, and as fear becomes bigger, we feel smaller. We feel like we don't have any power, any control. Bodhisattva, as he was wandering in jungles, he was stricken with fear. Sometimes, upon hearing some noises or seeing something, he would just feel like running away from that place, thinking that it is a wild animal preparing to attack him, or an elephant or a boar or some kind of rhino or something. So who gave that thought to him? It is himself, right? Before he saw anything, it is the mind telling a whole story about what may happen. So fear is a response, imaginary response. And we think when we have fear, we think we suffer life. It's not true. We suffer our memories and imaginations. And it causes problems, and we suffer the problem too. So it goes on and on. And this way, when the Bodhisattva, when he felt like something was around and some noises came, he made a strong decision that when he was alone that way in the forest, he would not run away. He would just stay there. Look directly in that direction to make sure where and who is making that noise, who is making that sound. When he found out, now he doesn't need the response from his thoughts, because he knows the truth. Truth is so freeing that no other story attached with it. So he doesn't suffer. When we feel fear, we kind of become smaller, and we go to a safety position. The safest we feel is in the mother's womb. So we go like this, right? We go smaller and we become like the position in the mother's womb, you can imagine. And that is when you surrender. That is also when you feel like you are in the Shema Bhumi, in the sanctuary, where you don't have to worry about anything because Mother has given a shield for you. This goes on and on because we are beings who continue to be born, and we find the safety of a mother's womb. And we have the habit of being born in a mother's womb. Now this cycle, driven with defilements, driven with kilesa. Kilesa is, that impurities in our mind. These impurities need to be seen right there. So during this past Vasana season, we were unwrapping the Ratana Sutta and places, different places, how it teaches the qualities of the Sangha, qualities of the Buddha, qualities of the Dhamma. We were also looking at how thoughts work, how different teachings of the Buddha has taught us to see what is actually happening within us. So, spirituality is it's a response to some of our defilements. When people, those days before we had any Buddha's teachings, people went to rocks and thought, this rock is so huge and it's magnificent, it's bigger than us. This must be God. Let's make offerings to this rock. They went to huge trees and they felt something under that tree. And they started thinking, this must be God. This must be possessed by a tree spirit. Let us make offerings. And then somebody came up with the idea that let us sacrifice 100 animals. That way we show that we are dedicated to this God. Otherwise it will take revenge from us for not sacrificing things. And this messed up with the whole peaceful animal realm. And then the Buddha came and said, those things are so harmful. Do not entertain that kind of thought, because you are giving fear to those animals, helpless, and this may be you in your next birth. That way, if you care for yourself, you don't do any harm to any being. You don't give fear to any being. Buddha is Abhayadana. He gives fearlessness. When he's around, nobody has to fear anything. He's there to comfort you. And we ourselves can be a source like that, source of giver of fearlessness, that we don't have to suffer these imaginary things and also make others suffer because of us. Buddha said, when we feel like some thoughts are cruel in our mind, we want to harm somebody, the Buddha says, Nadivaseti pajahati vinodeti byanti karoti anabhavangameti. You don't tolerate that thought. It's personal, private, it's only known to you, but even then the practice suggests that you don't entertain that. Pajahati, you abandon it. Vinodeti, you remove it. Byanti karoti, make sure it's no longer present. Anabhavangameti. So abhava, anabhava, you make sure you don't develop that kind of thought. So this is how the practice becomes ongoing, and it shows us that we are being benefited from the Dhamma that we learn. That is when you see that Dhamma protects you. Dhammo have rakhati dhammachari. That you are conducting a Dhamma way of life, and you yourself have that meter to see which level you are in your practice of Dhamma from 1 to 10. You get 10 out of 10 or 1 out of 10. You can measure it yourself because you have the Dhammo meter. That's a powerful meter to have. That you yourself have the ability and the wisdom. This is the wisdom, the power the Buddha gives to us. No need to go to any rock, no need to go to any tree. Just see through your own mind's lenses. And that way, you are the person person who can free yourself from fear or any defilement. So I hope this Vasana season was fruitful for you. It was definitely fruitful for us, and that we will continue this connection as the days to come. Thank you so much for looking after the Sangha, and thank you so much for everything that you have been doing. Well, the Katina is coming, and we will meet again. Until then, thank you so much. Over to you.
Okay, thank you, Bhante Kusala, for giving such a wonderful Dhamma talk. শ্রদ্ধাবান উপাসক উপাসিকা বৃন্দ, এখন আমি বাংলা ভাষায় যত পারি তত একটু ধর্মালোচনা প্রোগ্রাম করব। আজকে আমরা প্রবরণা পূর্ণিমা উপলক্ষে এই ধর্মালোচনা প্রোগ্রামটা করা হচ্ছে। এখানে আপনারা তো জানেন প্রবরণা পূর্ণিমা উপলক্ষে এখন তো আমরা জানি বাংলাদেশে সবাই এখন প্রস্তুতি নিচ্ছেন। এখন কি ফানুস, এখন আমার ভাই বোনের ছেলে মেয়েরা ওরা এখন 100-200 শতাব্দীর ফানুস করতেছে। এখন এখানে আর এখানে তো কানাডাতে তো সেরকম ফানুস উড়ানো যাবে না, সেরকম ফানুস উড়ানো গেলে তো আমরা সবাই জেলে যাবো।